Safety Committee meeting to order. Your county sealer.
Good morning, everyone. I apologize. It was late getting my report out as it didn't come down with your brief. I did it this morning early. Any questions or comments?
Yes, you're all set. Thank you.
Okay.
Board of Elections.
Back to work.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We wanted to stop by and just share a few pieces of information. A couple of items. We're working now on our operational contingency plan update. You'll be seeing that at some point soon. And we're also working on the annual report, which you'll be getting shortly. Our organizational meeting is going to be held on the 28th at 2 p.m. And anyone who is interested in attending is welcome. We ordinarily do our organizational meeting earlier in the month, but because of the proposed voting changes that the legislature is considering today, we thought we'd bump it to the end of the month to give us time to analyze what's going on and figure out what impact it's going to have on our systems.
The legislature is voting today on a package of election reform issues, including the elimination of the September primary, moving it up to June instead to coincide with the federal primary, which would mean a dramatic change at the board elections in the petition season. Petition season would actually start February 26th, next month, as opposed to typically the first week of June. The primary would be held, the filing period for those petitions, instead of being July, would be April 4th, the week of April 4th. A June primary. There's also a bill for early voting. We don't know what that's going to look like, but it's expected that it'll be approximately 10 days of voting at a poll site to be determined, or poll sites to be determined. We don't know what the hours would be. That would bring additional staff needed to be election inspectors, which would be additional budget costs for the board of elections. Along with early voting, there would be changes to absentee voting. They're looking at a bill which would allow for no excuse absentee voting, which means you don't have to say I'm going to be on county or not available that day in order to get an absentee ballot.
And that would require a constitutional amendment. So that would be that wouldn't happen immediately.
Right. So a lot of changes coming our way, and we'll need your support and your patience. But we'll have more to discuss at the end of January.
Mr. Jackson.
Any talk of any funding from the state to cover the cost of the additional election workers we're going to have to hire that we obviously didn't budget for?
None of the counties have budgeted for this. None of them. It's been alleged that this is a cost saver for us because it's going to, every other year, eliminate one primary for us. Not this year, of course. We're talking about joining together the federal and state primaries, but we're not this year. It's just moving a September election to a June election. But there are these additional costs that are going to come with early voting, repeated costs every election, whether it's the federal presidential primary, the June or the November general, or any special election that's on the statewide office or county office. So it's a lot.
I think at this point we don't know exactly what the cost would be is the bottom line. And I know that election reform is part of the governor's platform for this year, and I'm expecting that we'll hear more about it when he does the State of the State and his budget release tomorrow. So we'll keep you posted.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Mr. Harrington.
My thoughts are that perhaps the towns should have their officials elected for 4-year terms instead of 2-year terms, and that would help to alleviate some of that additional expenses. Your thoughts on that, please?
So as far as alleviating expenses, that translates into that. However, I would say that in the North Country, the idea of collecting petition signatures in February, not just the ice and the snow, but also the fact that a great number of your constituents are going to be Florida, someplace warmer, is going to be very difficult for any town elected up here. And if you are considering taking any of your town positions and making them into 4-year positions, I will tell you that under town law, this is the year to do it. For example, the position of supervisor. To go from a 2-year supervisor position to a 4-year has to be done in a biennial election year, and for towns of the second class, which you all are, that is on your years. There is a process. I'm happy to discuss it with you.
And a number of the towns have already done that. So, yeah, so it can be a good alternative. And, you know, I think you all have a lot to share with each other if towns with 2-year terms want to communicate with those with 4-year terms. It probably would be a very helpful thing.
And Mr. Morrow?
Yeah, we did that in 1995. We were the first ones to do it. But is this going to affect caucus towns or just the towns that have primaries? We don't have primary in my party in our town. We have a caucus town.
Yeah.
So we don't have to get primaries.
I think the bills that are out there, the dates will by, but we're still looking at the bills to see what's actually in them and what gets passed, and we'll have to take a look and see what it says about caucus, if anything, and we'll make sure we let you know.
Because that might be the way to go. Go
Yeah.
with caucuses, and you don't have to go for a primary and carry petitions and everything else. You do it the one night and you're done.
The only other caucus town that we have is North Illinois, the Democrats in North Illinois.
Mr. Jackson?
I hope the state and you folks are going to make an effort to get the word out, because people can't wait till June and decide, well, I guess I'm going to run for the town board. By then you'll have to run as an independent. You won't be able to run as a Democrat or Republican. So I'm afraid it's a party system a bit, and people that make up their minds late, it will be harder for them to get on the ballot.
I would imagine that
I was just going to say, outreach, I think, for candidates, potential candidates, also for voters, because there are some changes here. And I think we'll have to give some consideration to what type of outreach we do above and beyond what we historically have tried to do.
And I would imagine that independent body petitions, they usually fall on the heels of the filing of the party petitions, designating petitions. So if designating are going to be filed April 4th, I would imagine that's probably going to be the first day for circulating your independent body petitions.
Thank you.
Good. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
District Attorney? Oh, hold on. Mr. Harrington?
Yes, I was just thinking that maybe we could help ourselves out if we had a reversal as to the election of the president for 4 years of this country, and lower that to 2, and increase the counties to 4. We're better off.
19, right? This year.
Clean this one up together.
Good morning. I just want to do a quick update regarding my staff. Many of you may have heard that Jamie Martineau, who's been with me for almost 20 years off and on during our careers, left, and he's the newly appointed public defender in Clinton County. Ooh, no. And we have hired recently, and she starts today, Catherine, but she goes by Katie Morrill from North Hudson. So she moved here a few years ago. She's experienced both Suffolk and Rensselaer County. Prior JAG, she does biathlon, marathon. So when I have an opportunity, I'll bring her over and you can all meet her. But I just want to welcome Katie and wish best of luck to Jamie. And I'm sure we'll all be hearing or seeing him soon. And if anybody has any questions, I'm here.
All right, thank you. Emergency Services, Don Jakush.
resolutions today, but obviously you all know that my Deputy Director, Mike Blaze, has accepted a position with the Sheriff's Department. So the personnel will be reviewing the position descriptions, and then we'll be posting for that as soon as we can. Jim Dugan and I met with the building committee, and we're continuing to do that, so we should have options on the fire building site hopefully by next month's meeting. And the hazard mitigation plan that we've been working on for months through Mountain View Planning has been submitted to the state and to FEMA, so hopefully there won't be any revisions to that and it'll pass through. And that's about what I have.
Monty?
And Don, I've been touring the here, and I think I addressed this to you once last year. The evacuation plans still in social services and other places are outdated by 28 years on the walls. Some of these locations have changed, or, so they put petitions in, they've done things. I really think it behooves us to update those and get them done. I've been told for 3 years it's on the radar, Well, 3 years later, it might be on the radar, but it's just a blip further back. And my other question is, do we have mapping in these buildings of where the AEDs are located by chance?
I can't answer that.
Okay.
I know in our building there is, but I don't know about.
Speaking for being older and these being public buildings, I think those should be on evacuation plans where they're located and designated, and who's in charge of making sure those are inspected and calibrated yearly?
Not does that.
Okay. I think that would be nice if they had that taken care of.
Okay, Mr. Marnell?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Don and his staff for the help they provided Spoon Lake at the fire. Special Area Shields is on the scene, and we kind of took control because we were very short-handed. But thank you and your people for all the work that you've done.
Most welcome.
We're all set? Oh, Mr. Jackson?
Any update on the tower over in Moncton?
Actually, we met with, believe it or not, they came up to us, Office of Interoperable Communications and the grants people, because I wanted to make sure that we had enough money to start and complete this project. And with combining the 3 grants, we're about $1 million. And remember, the quote was $988,000. However, if we have to put a tower up, it's going to be a little more. In saying that, we still have $800,000 in the radio fund. We're going to try to cover everything with the SIG grants. In saying that, the only exception could be the actual tower itself. We could do the site work, we could do all this, but buying the tower and putting it in Vermont, they said that could be an issue. We might have to cover that with grant fund or radio funds. But again, we still have to do the structurals, site analysis, and all that before we decide whether or not we need a new tower. We can use the existing one.
You got a schedule for that work?
It's going to be in the spring, for sure. We got to wait for weather.
How far is spring?
That's a good guess, Ron.
You're all set? Where's the medical services?
Annie has to, she has to attend a conference in Troy. However, she wanted me to convey that they are in the final review process for the work plan, and be very soon. They know what's going on there.
Thank you. Okay, Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Reynolds.
Hey, John, he got his leak put back. I got his leak put back.
So I apologize, I don't have a report for you this meeting. I know in the past the Sheriff's Office has been sporadic in providing reports, but I plan on every month providing you some information. Kind of in the middle of building my administration, so Mike Blaze, who, as Don said, used to work for him, worked for us prior. His first day with us is today. So the same relationship that I have with the board, he's going to continue it. So anything you guys need, obviously you're going to go either through him or me. We'll make it happen. Some of the things that I will be providing in the report, and I just jotted some stuff down today, is for the month of December, our local inmate count was around 31, and we're housing in about 34 federal and other county inmates, which brought in about $104,000, which for the year 2018 put us a little over 1.4 million, which we had budgeted 1.3, so we exceeded our goal there. On the patrol side, we responded to 59 incidents, 13 of them being EMS calls, or our EMTs have been out responding in all of your communities. We made 16 arrests, 26 tickets were issued, one was a DWI, and we responded to 6 accidents. That's some of the stuff I'll be providing. If there's other stuff you guys want to know, reach out to me. We're an open book. Questions?
Mr. Gilliland?
Sure, can you just give us a brief, I know you've gone detailed before, you kind of a brief update on the school resource officer campaign?
So you allowed me to put the money in my budget, and the last meeting I was at, I believe, sure, but supervisors were going to reach out to your different schools to decide whether they wanted to come up with $20,000 for the program. The only one I've heard back from as a definitive answer is Lake Placid as a no. So I'm not sure how to proceed with that. I'm going to sit with Dan at some point and decide, how we're going to move forward. I'm still going to see grants to hopefully cover that $260,000 revenue that the board put in.
That's what I guess everybody should get back to the sheriff on the school superintendents. I did meet with our superintendent, and he did indicate that wants to move with that to me. So.
As did Elizabeth.
I think a realistic goal is the fall to start.
The problem with that is the school board budgets are in May. So they're going to budget it.
Well, honestly, what I think that I need to sit down and meet with the board is, I really think you need to design some kind of a brochure or a booklet that describes to the school district what it is that we're willing to do and how we're going to do it, and get those out to the schools and say, are you interested, and if you are, return documents so that we can go ahead and start preparing contracts. I think once you get that kind of process done and out of the way, I think at that point you could then go ahead and establish the actual hiring and putting people in the actual schools.
Mr. Jackson?
Well, I remember when you were the resource officer in Willsboro, and the security was secondary to the mentoring and the help you did with troubled students, and I think you solved a lot of problems before they became problems. So hopefully you'll find a lot of people like yourself to take those positions, because we were talking earlier about early problems that cause problems later on in life. So the more help that the schools can get from resource officers, I think is a great step forward, and it'll help a lot of kids.
Right, we have a great staff, so I have some good people to choose from.
Anybody else? Oh, Mr. Preston?
I would echo that. I don't know if you were here when I was running my mouth earlier, but I firmly believe that getting kids to feel comfortable with law enforcement early, I think that's the way to go. There are so many issues out there, and you've got to start when the kids are young to get them to trust and respect law enforcement, because we have so many screwed up things going on in this world, and they just shouldn't be acceptable. And I think we got to start with the kids. And then I'll say one more thing and shut up. Did you get a new phone number now that you're the sheriff, and/or can we call you on your cell? And you know what? You tell us whatever, and I'll take it. But I just was curious.
I think everybody has my cell number. If you don't, I'm more than happy to give it to you. Probably don't want it necessarily on the floor here.
That's fine. That's fine. I was just
To me, I think it's easier to answer a question than chase it afterwards. And so if you guys have questions.
Mr. Montoya?
The public fire building that we're talking about, there was some talk that possibly the sheriff's department would use that for your training. Is that something?
So we've been seeking some type of building to use for active shooter training. The problem is we use simunitions, which in sheetrock will put holes, little dimples in the walls, so schools don't necessarily want us using our simunitions in the school. So I was talking to Donnie and Mike Blaze at the time, and the building would suit us. We could simulate a courtroom and have our correction officers go in and respond to any type of scenarios.
You know how often you use that? Because there was some talk about how often the fire department should use that for training. And if the sheriff's department wanted to use it, how often would they use it?
Maybe quarterly. Simulation training is not something we do regularly, but I would like to see it increase because I don't think we're ready to respond to certain incidents.
Anybody else? All set, thank you.
Probation?
We have the report committee, so unless anybody has any questions, I don't have anything to add.
Anybody have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Public defender? Very good.
Good morning. 2018, we handled approximately 880 cases, which is about average for the last couple of years. Things look like they're going to remain steady. Today, I do have a resolution to accept grants from the state. And the resolution reads, a resolution authorizing the public defender to accept a 3-year New York State Indigent Legal Services grant for the term January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2020. Distribution grant number 8, C80015, for a total amount of $191,496, and further authorizing the chairman or the county manager to execute the same.
Moved by Mr. Morrow, second. Mr. Jackson, questions, concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
That's all I have. Unless there's any questions.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's go back to the Veterans Office. Noel, yeah.
No report this morning, thank you.
Anything else in front of the Public Safety Committee? If not, we're adjourned.